what I would say.
Fair enough. All right, second to last one here, and then again, we can add more if you guys would like to, because there's a bunch that have come in the comments. But second to last one, and Steven, I'll let you start with this one. Grant Cardone. Do you have an opinion on Grant Cardone?
So I used to be way more of a fan of Grant Cardone than I am now. Because when I was doing house sales, I knew a fellow salesman who had really enjoyed Grant's course and showed me and gave me access to Grant's course. So I've actually taken some of Grant's course. I'll say about the course, it was very old. It was very outdated. All the modules were probably 10 years old almost. But I mean, it was just basic sales. And so I thought to myself, okay, what I liked about Grant, basically what I've said from the beginning, is at least he's made money doing other things, which I always appreciate. I like when people have done what they propose to teach before they teach this thing, right? So he's actually, I would say that Grant's a very good salesman. I don't think many people would argue that. What's come to my attention, though, recently is that as he pushes away from selling to businesses and he starts selling more to the individual, I'm having more of a problem with him as he's doing all these conferences, which are just giant upsells. Guys, I'm not trying to push you away from my channel, but Mike Winnett does some great videos about how Grant Cardone pushes people into a bunch of upsells through these seminars that are just giant upsells. So you'll go there and you'll end up spending $20,000 on courses. So I don't like that about him. I think he's become much more of a fake guru. He's seen the huge wave. He's seen the opportunity, and he's dived into that. That combined with the fact that he sued Meet Kevin makes me strongly dislike this guy. Not cool. It's not cool to sue people. Why? It's free speech, internet. That's a cornerstone of my beliefs. Is dude, let people say what they want to say.
Sean?
I think Grant Cardone overall, I don't think there's even an argument of whether the guy's a scam. Because he's legit as hell, but I think he's a badass. The guy's a badass. The guy speaks his mind. The guy's not afraid to smoke cigars on camera or, call you a pussy or all that stuff. So I think he's really, I really like him. I like his energy. I like all that stuff. That being said, if we want to get some drama here, I think Jordan Belfort's the fucking original salesperson here. I think you know what, if you're looking to learn sales, you know what, the Wolf of Wall Street is now moving into info products and stuff. And you know what, this guy is the original, but he does it. And Grant Cardone was selling business to business. You look at his thing. Yeah. He was selling videotapes. He was selling his own sales training to car dealerships back in the 80s. Okay. And so Grant Cardone didn't do as much on the ground, boiler room, business to consumer grind.
Right.
That Jordan Belfort did. Grant Cardone, I don't know how long he did sales for, but basically he pivoted quickly into the info product space and made a lot of his money there. So is he a badass? Does he know sales? Yeah. Is there any problem with buying his course? Will you learn a lot? Yes, you'll definitely learn a lot. I think it'll be great. But is he the best? I'd say Jordan Belfort. I think Jordan Belfort just wins. And I learned some sales from Jordan Belfort. I've been through both of the guys, he's just master.
Also, did you see where Grant Cardone was saying in their debate that disinterest is a level of interest? Did you see that? He's I was what are you talking about, dude? You're crazy.
It's, you know what? Jordan Belfort's got it. Yeah. Grant Cardone, I already said it. I'm not calling it. I'm not saying he's not legit or anything, but I'm saying I don't think he's the best. You know what? He's the most famous for sure. I don't think he's the best. I don't. Yeah. Just
Fair
going
enough.
out there.
Fair enough.
He's a guy. Cool guy.
Next, Guru.
And this is the last one we have on the list again. Let me know if you guys want to continue this, but
sure.
This is the moment I think everybody that are watching this right now, and the thousands that will watch the recording of this,
That's right,
as well as the two of you, I think this is, and myself, to be fair, I think this is the moment that we've all been waiting for. And I don't even think I need to really tell you who it is, but I'm going to because that's my job, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and just start with Steven. It's his show. I'm going to let him lead the way on this one. Steven, what are your opinions on Sifu himself?
Okay, so I cannot show this. What I have in my hands right now is a cease and desist letter from Dan Lok delivered to my house. The dude, okay, I got to be careful here because he's getting really close to suing me right now. What can one say about the king of high ticket sales? What could you say about a guy like that? I don't know. John, like if you want to jump in here, I'm trying to think of how to summarize my experience with Dan Lok.
You're on the spot.
He's the shadiest guru I've ever come into contact with. And researching him makes me want to take a shower, honestly. The number of people that have contacted me about Dan Lok far exceeds any other guru that I've ever exposed on my channel. Nobody comes close. The amount of people who said, Dan Lok, I've lost all my money. Dan Lok put me in debt. Dan Lok this and this. Dan Lok's course didn't work for me. Dan Lok is suing me. Dan Lok students are being sued. Well, anyway. Dan Lok is just notoriously litigious. He sues people who disagree with him. He uses his money instead of his words. And I don't think that's going to get him far. I think ultimately you live and die by your reputation. And while he's really good at shutting down public discussion, the conversation is happening whether he likes it or not. And if he continues to hide behind lawyers, he's going to fall farther and farther behind. Because ultimately the public knows, just like you said, John, if you're not going to come on and say something, everyone knows you have something to hide. If you can't come on and address it, what are you hiding? So Dan Lok, he's the king right now. He's the king of the fake gurus. In my mind, he's the boss in the Bentley. He's the high-ticket salesman. That's all I can say. Oh, and now he is an investing expert. I don't know if you guys knew that. He's selling a investing seminar. Like, he was a salon expert, then he's supposedly a social media expert, then he's a sales expert, then he's a investing expert. He's the everything expert. If you could make money selling it, Dan Lok would be happy to sell you that ice to the Eskimos.